what are the different master datas in MM?
PIR.
Right. So once we get the price, we will maintain it in the RFQ. But once we maintain that RFQ, then we would be converting that to some master data. Either we will create the info record or we will build an scheduling agreement for that, right? Either contract or outline agreement. Now that info record which is created in P2P process where we maintain the pricing of that material for a particular period, that get replaced with service condition record in service procurement. In service procurement, we create the service condition records. There are different ways to create it. We will see on the SAP screen how to create that. So both of these things, service master record and service condition record, are master data in service procurement. Okay. So in P2P cycle, once we have the info record, then what we create?
Purchase order.
Yeah, so either it could be purchase order created with reference to info record RFQ, or if you have a contract, then you will be creating with reference to that one. So in service procurement also we'll create the purchase order, but we will create a service purchase order. Now what is the difference between normal purchase order and service purchase order? The item category. You select the item category D per item. That item category D indicates the item which you are procuring falls under service procurement. Okay. Then there is one more thing about service procurement, that account assignment category is mandatory. Now forget about service procurement. You guys tell me till now whatever we have learned of different processes, when we have used account assignment category and what was the purpose of it? Anyone?
Can you repeat the question once?
I was saying, forget about service procurement for time being. I said in service procurement it is mandatory, but till now whatever processes we have learned, tell me wherever we, what are all those processes where we used the account assignment category in purchase order, and what is the purpose of using account assignment category?
This is the type of procurement, whether it is service or what are normal procurement, whether it is assignment, consignment or pipeline, it is going to decide.
Okay, so it would be under indirect procurement, right? Under the
Yes, without material procurement. Yeah.
Now, what is the purpose of account assignment category? If you remember when we learned indirect procurement, that time itself we understood the function of using account assignment category. If you use account assignment category in purchase order, what is the different thing happens in the purchase order in the subsequent processes?
Yeah, when we are receiving to the cost center, something like that, it is not going to the stock, like office items, something like that. Then we have to put the direct GL account, and that is there we need cost center and that account as assignment category.
Since we are directly consuming it, we need to assign some. Yeah.
Correct. So here, if you are not able to store the things which you are procuring in storage location, all those times we have used account assignment category. Reason, we want to consume that material. What are the two consumptions we have understood that account assignment category does?
Non-stock and non-valuated.
Correct. So stock consumption as well as, or quantity consumption as well as value consumption. Correct. Now coming back to the service procurement, I am saying account assignment category is mandatory for service procurement. What do you think? What could be the reason?
Since it's a service, it has to be consumed directly to a department or any cost account.
Yeah, correct. So it's quantity, whatever it may be, and its value. Both things needs to be consumed as soon as we receive it, since it is a service, non-tangible thing, right? So that's why account assignment category is mandatory in service procurement. Then we need to add on one item for that. So that item won't be any material. We just need to add the description. Once we add that, and once we add the item category D, another tab gets popped up in purchase order where we maintain our service master records or the activity numbers which vendor is going to perform for our plant. Right. Once PO is created, what is the next step? In P2P cycle?
Yeah.
Goods receipt. Yeah.
So we do the MIGO transaction, we do the goods receipt. In service procurement, we don't go to the MIGO, we go to service entry sheets. Okay, here are two steps which need to be performed with the single transaction ML81N. What we do, we maintain the service entry sheets. What is meant by service entry sheet? See, whenever some vendor is performing some activity, let's say the maintenance in this case, then the way he performs the activities, how much hours he has performed, on how much machines or how much quantities he have performed. So all those things we need to record somewhere, right? So that recording is done, is being done in the service entry sheets. Once the recording is done, then there needs to be approval of that service entry sheet. Approval is mandatory. It depends company to company whether they will be allowing the same person to approve it or a different managerial level person to approve the service entry sheet. Once that service entry sheet is approved, then
don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
It is considered as a kind of a goods receipt, whatever we do in MIGO. So once the service entry sheet is approved, it indicates that we have consumed the service after the approval. What is the step next after MIGO in P2P?
Myro.
Yeah, same thing happens here. Then once you consume the service, then vendor will issue the invoice to you. You need to verify the invoice with invoice verification in Miro transaction itself, and the payment will be done. Okay. So let's get into system and continue. First, we will create a service master record. The code is SC03. Okay. So service master record interface and metal master interface are totally different. Try to understand what is the difference between them and how that function. This difference enhances the functionality or impacts the functionality. Better. So this is the screen where we create the service master record. It is not called as service number. It is called as activity number in SAP language. Okay. Why activity number? Because the services which are being performed are kind of an activity itself. So that's why it is named as activity in SAP. On the left hand side, you will see all the activities which are created in the system. And on the right hand side, if you double click, it will show the details of it. Okay. Now this is about service master. Now, when you created the material master, there were different views, right? If you create a purchasing view, you need to mention for which org structure you are maintaining this. For example, plant in case of procurement. We were maintaining if this procurement happens for a particular plant, then what are the attributes? All those attributes we maintain in purchasing view. For service entry sheet or for service master record or activity number, it is not depending on any org structure. Okay. So whatever you create, that belongs to the complete client itself. It is at client level. Okay. So we'll create the activity number for us. Before that, let us just assume one random example and we'll continue with that. Let us consider this is a production floor, and here we have total 9 machines, 3 CNCs, 3 VMCs, and 3 lathe. Once in a month, we have identified one vendor who does all the maintenance activities, like the replacement, maintenance of parts, cleaning, calibration, whatever it may be. So all activities he does once in a month on weekends. Okay. So for that, then we have to run our P2P cycle. Now here if you see, when he is coming, he's performing 3 different activities: maintenance of CNC, maintenance of VMC, and maintenance of lathe. So I'll create this 3 different activities or 3 different service master records, because for each of them, the pricing would be different, correct? So let us create our own. CNC repair. So I have put the description. I'll not put the activity number. It will take from the internal digits. Now, next thing appearing here is service category. What is service category? Let us compare this with the material master which we have. Okay. If you guys remember, tell me what was the function of material type? What is the function of material type in material master?
It decides the number range, field control,
Mm-hmm.
and
Also,
valuation class.
Mm-hmm.
you can define the fields which needs to be appearing when you're creating a material master.
Yeah.
A grouping of similar type of items.
Okay. Grouping of similar type of items is a very vague like definition that is not SAP like technical SAP terms. You can call it as a business term, right? And when it comes to business grouping of materials, we consider that as a material group instead of material type. From configuration point of view, what else is the thing which material type controls? You can think of the OMS2 screen of the configuration. Whatever configuration we do for the material type, those are the things which it controls for a material master. Anything else apart from that?
Yeah, so here material type and then account category reference and then valuation class determines the
Yeah.
account. Yeah.
Anything else?
We decide on quantity updates, value updates there.
Exactly right. So that is also important, as well as the views. Which views will be allowed for this material or not? Correct. Then what is the category of this material? So all such things are controlled by material type in a material master. Similar role is performed by service category in service master, but it has a limited role. It just controls the number range as well as the valuation part as well as the number range for an service master. So I'm selecting, let's say, CRB standard one available. Okay, base unit of measure is added. Then I'll add the valuation class.
So since it is a service master, ideally, shouldn't it be hours or days as a unit of measurement?
Yeah. So in my case, what I am considering, based on how many CNCs he is performing. So based on for one CNC, he is charging this much. So that's why I'm putting piece here. So yeah, generally in these cases, it is based on hourly basis. So we can take hourly also. It depends on the business requirement.
Okay, thank you.
I'll add the violation class and I'll just add the tax certificate. I don't have anything for services. I'll just use the material 0. Okay. Record get created CNC repair, and it has assigned the number range activity number based on the internal number range 3 4 times 0 27. I'll create for VMC as well. Okay, so we created 2 records, 3 4 times 0 27 and 3 4 times 0 29. Now next thing in the process is creating the service condition record is nothing but maintaining the price for that service to be performed. Now for that, since it is a master data, again I'll come back to SAP Easy Access screen. Let us go to the material master. Service master and service conditions. So this is the path. There are 3 ways to maintain it: for supplier with plant, for supplier without plant, and for services. So what is mean by that? Let us create for first option and then we will compare it with the remaining ones. So I'm creating my service condition record for supplier with plant. T code is ML33. Okay. So this you will get by this time you must be familiar with this screen. We saw this in pricing procedure as well. Right? In pricing procedure, we built this screen based on the condition table. In service procurement, this is already built for us and we are using it. Now here if you see, there are multiple things which are provided on the screen: purchasing organization, supplier, plant, activity number, and its amount, as well as the validity dates. What is mean by that? Let me just add the entries and then we'll discuss. So 7. Okay, so I added one entry. What this entry indicates: if supplier SGM1V00 performs CNC repair service purchased by purchasing organization SGM1 for plant SGM1. If this is the scenario, then this vendor V002 is charging $10 per CNC repair. Okay, this is how you can read this. And here you can put the validity as per the vendor, to the vendor which provides you based on the timelines. Similarly, for VMC, for VMC also you can read it same way. This vendor is charging $12 to perform VMC repair purchased by SGM1 per org performed at SGM1 plant. Okay, this is how we have maintained our service conditions. I'm saving it. Data got saved. You can just display in ML35. Remove the activity number. So we can see both of our activities mentioned here, right? Now, apart from for supplier with plant, there are 2 more options: for supplier without plant. If I double click here and if I maintain, let's say for CNC repair, then what does it mean? If supplier is performing CNC repair purchased by SGM1, then the price is $15 per CNC machine for a CNC repair. Okay, I'm saving this. Along with this, we have one more for services with ML45 T code. Here I'll just add the activity. USD. So what is this third option indicates? If this organization is procuring this service, then the general rate is $17. Okay, these are the three options provided by SAP. Since I have added all three entries for my CNC repair, system will pick from the minute detail to the general requirement level. Okay, same which we have shown in our purchasing info record. See, right now, if you see, if this is the SGM1 plant, if this is the SGM1 plant with the vendor P002 and services being procured by SGM1 PR, if this is the scenario, then the charges the PO will pick up would be $10. Since this in detail entry is maintained with the first option. If this was any other plant, SGM2, with this same options, if this was the scenario, then system will pick $15 because this is what we have maintained here. And similarly, if some other vendor is like procuring, let's say V003 is performing purchase by this PR in this plant, then it would be $17. Okay, so depending on the scenarios which you are performing, system will pick the price accordingly based on the data which you have maintained. But system will always look out for the in detail, the precise one, the precise option or precise condition record which is available. Okay, in my case, I'm going with SGM1, so obviously system will pick $10. Okay, so service master record is created, service condition is also created. Let us create our PO. Let us add the details. As we discussed, for normal purchase order to convert it to service procurement, we have to select item category D, services. So once this is selected, this item now belongs to a service procurement category and not the generic procurement. Along with that, account assignment category is also mandatory. In my case, let's say I'm selecting cost center. Okay. Since I selected item category D, services, if you see, the two more types have got popped up, services as well as limits. Okay. I'll just add some description. I won't be adding any material here. If you perform any lean procurement, then in the lean procurement cycle, we create the material as a service and then we mention the material here. But in classical method, we don't mention the material, we just add the description. Repair work, add the plant SGM1, as well as add the material group. Now, what is this material group? This material group needs to be provided from the reporting point of view. Okay, you might create maintenance for maintenance some separate material group, for cleaning activities some separate material group, so that when you do the reporting for financial entities or COPA reporting, that time it will be segregated based on the material group. You could segregate based on the material group to identify how much you have spent, right? So that's why business requires, you might be required to create separate material groups depending on the types of procurement which they are doing. In my case, I will use some random available. Let's see if anything is available for services. For service, something is available, I'll use that one. As soon as I put all the data is required at the item level, system proposes me please enter the service number. Let us add our service number. So we are doing CNC as well as VMC repairs. So CNC we are doing for 3 CNCs, the repair. As soon as I add that, system is asking me the account assignments. Reason, I have provided as account assignment category K, cost center. System has automatically popped up the GL account, and now it is asking me the cost center. When we do the when we do the approval of service entry sheet, after that we will see how that how this GL account has came across. Right now, just remember that somehow with the OBY setting, system has already identified the GL account. So I have one cost center, I'll use the same one. For VMC also I'm doing it. I need repair for all my 3 VMCs. It has picked, I think, GSGM1. Someone has made some pricing. Okay, this is the same one which I have made it mandatory. Let me just remove that mandatory thing. So here it is asking for some mandatory conditions need to be popped up. I don't want anything to be mandatory in this case. So CSGM 10, I am removing that mandate. Okay, let me create the PO again. Okay, now it is not appearing. Now if I select the item and if I go to the condition labels, now here I'll see the price which I have already maintained in the condition record. So for this scenario, the CNC repair is getting charged with $10 per piece. So the total count is $30 I need to pay. And for VMC, it is $12 per piece. That's why $36 in total. And the combination is $66, and that's what it is appearing under the net price. So for this PO, for the complete activity, I need to pay $66 to this vendor. Okay, let us save this purchase order.
So the amount in the conditions tab is the combination, is the sum of these 2 line items, is it?
Here which we saw.
So where do we maintain this pricing procedure? For maintaining the
Which
price,
pricing procedure?
the price which you have maintained in PRS condition type.
Same pricing procedure, right? This one ZSGM1. This is what which I have created previously. It is picking up the same one with the same logic and configuration.
But where is the sign? I think it was separate. I don't know. I mean, can you just go to the change mode once? I mean, I'm a little
Okay.
confused. Sorry.
Level 3 only.
So if we get into that conditions tab, I mean, you selected the line and you went into the conditions, no?
Mhm.
Okay. Where do we see this? Okay, can we click on the analysis?
Yeah.
See, there the procedure is different. No? MS.
This is for service level. If we check for the PO level, we can go to the conditions tab. And here, if you go to the analysis, it is picking the same one.
Yeah, but for the services one, that procedure, where do we assign that?
For MS00, you are saying?
Yeah. That's right. Because in case we have to add some condition type over there, how we will do that? That actually is the
So
question.
MS00 is a standard one available. You can add your condition type here on the same configuration.
Yeah, but where do we do this configuration? It's not in the same place.
Yeah.
No? It's not here.
No, I'll show you. Under it comes under service procurement. So maintain conditions for services. So this configuration you have to do everything. It is the same logic which we have learned in the normal pricing procedure. You have to create condition types, condition tables if you want, then schema, and we have to assign it. Same logic.
Okay, and is there any integration also between this schema and the one with at the line item level? Because it is summing it together. I mean, in this example, there were 2, but if there would be 20, I am sure those 20 will get summed up, no? At the line item level.
Yeah, obviously. So PRS, whatever is appearing in PRS, all those are getting summed up as a PB00.
Is there any configuration?
There is no configuration required from our side. It is coming from the backend and from the access sequence, which is already assigned to this. We don't need to perform anything from our side.
But in PBXX, there is no access sequence, no?
Yeah, in PBXX, there won't be. PB00, if it is PB00, it would be coming from access sequence. In PBXX, it is coming from the backend. It is summing from the backend program.
Right. Okay. Ideally, it is manual PBXX. I mean,
PBXX,
normal.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have created our purchase order. The next thing is we will maintain our service entry sheet ML81N. So let's say now the vendor has arrived, he is performing the activities. As soon as he does the activities, we need to maintain that, we need to record that in our SAP. So that once the payment is being happening or once the invoice verification will be happening, that time it will refer to the service entry sheet, whether the activities were really performed or not. I'll just copy the purchase order number. ML81N. Okay, click on other purchase order, mention and enter. So for this purchase order, as I entered under other purchase orders, for this purchase order, there is no entry sheet available right now. So that's why entry sheet is coming as blank. So I need to first create an entry sheet for this one. So click on create new. Okay, it has automatically assigned the internal number range. Provide some short text. Service entry sheet for repair. Okay. Now here you need to mention those services whichever the vendors has performed. In this case, there is in service procurement, you can add there is no, it is not mandatory to add everything which you have mentioned under purchase order, right? The case which we see generally in the standard purchase orders, whatever you have procured, you need to receive it all. If you don't receive it, still the remaining quantity remains as open one. That doesn't happen in service procurement. Whatever they have performed, you can mention only those things. Let's say in CNC and VMC, instead of three CNC VMCs, he done the repair for only 2. So I can add only 2, and I can go ahead with the the completion of the service cycle. Additionally, if he performs some additional services, that also I can mention here. Even if I have not maintained that, or I have not predicted that during purchase order creation, so that is also I can maintain here. In my case, let's say he has performed only the required things, so I am adding only those things. So he has done the complete three quantities repairs for the CNCs and VMCs. It
So
has taken up all the,
it is not getting copied automatically. You have to enter manually.
no, service entries numbers will not get copied, because this is completely open area. You can maintain the available ones which are provided in PO, or you can enter your own ones as well. Once you provide the service number, then it copies the data which is maintained from the purchase order.
In that case, I mean, I can also enter the services which are not even a part of the PO.
Purchase order, yeah, which comes under unplanned services.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, even if I have not created up the purchase order for certain services, I can still add them here.
Yes.
Okay,
And that's why there is one more step here named as approve service entry sheet.
okay.
Because in services, we cannot, like, it is very rarely that we understand, we predict what all services going to be performed, because in terms of in maintenance, you don't know which breakdown has been happened and while your PO creation. So that's why there is open score for you to maintain everything or whatever the services have been performed. And that's why once you maintain all the entries, then it should be a approval for that one, generally done by the managerial level, to approve whether the services being mentioned are correct or not.
So there is a good possibility that the purchase order has been created for $1,000, but I can create a GR for $10,000. I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, is there any automatic update of the price in the PO level, or no? When I do the GR, does that GR correspondingly create any line item in the PO?
No, it won't. It will be just recorded under your service entry sheet.
But then they normally say that it's a three-way check. So that will not
That
happen.
is GR based invoice verification. That comes for Migo, not service entry sheet.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have entered all both the services which are planned one, and I'm saving it. Since I'm saving it, it still says no acceptance. It has not yet accepted. I'm just saving it, and the service entry sheet is saved. Now I'm going to the change mode again, and there is one indicator here called accept. Now this accept indicator you can control with your basis help, security help, so that it will be provided only to a particular users who are allowed or eligible to accept the services. Okay, this button does not appear for everyone in the regular practice. Now here it is appearing because generally for our user roles, it is completely SAP all. So that's why it is appearing everything in our case, but this generally doesn't happen. Similar to what we have seen in release strategy. Release strategy, we assign the particular codes, and that's why the user which is logging in the SAP will be allowed to only release for his code. He won't be allowed to release for other codes. Similar logic applies to the release of entry sheets also. So I am releasing it now. Now it says will be accepted. Once I save it, it goes to the status accepted. And if I go to the purchase order,
don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
if I go to the purchase order, here you can see service entry sheet as well as goods receipt. Okay. Now, what I did not perform any MIGO, but how come it is appearing the goods receipt? Let us understand. As soon as I created the service entry sheet, and I was maintaining it, system has already popped up this service entry sheet record under purchase order history. Even if you don't accept it, still it will appear, so that it will get referred to this service entry sheet for all the invoice verifications. Now, as soon as I accept it, then there is a financial implication, right? So that financial implication is recorded against this goods receipt. So this goods receipt gets automatically posted against your service entry sheet whenever you accept that service. Let us see what is in there. So whatever you have maintained at the item level, same thing gets appeared here. Okay. If I go to the material, it just shows the description which I have maintained under my purchase order. Under quantity, it will just say one activity unit, which is the default unit and quantity for your service procurement. Then in where and purchase order data, it will show all other things as it is. Okay. And here important thing is your FI implications. So FI implications are not shown against your service entry sheets, but your material document. If I go to the accounting, here if you see, this is the account purchase services. So this is the account which was appearing when I was maintaining the cost center. Okay, this was the default account which was appearing. It got debited with the $66, and then the GRIR account got credited with the 66 same amount, KBS and WRX. Now, if I do the invoice, it will go to the debit mode GRIR, and the vendor account will get credited. Okay. So this is the thing about goods receipt. Though we are not doing any MIGO transaction, still system creates a a material document against your service entry sheet automatically, because to have an FI, we need to have an FI implication. Okay, clear till here? Any doubt? Okay, now we will understand how this GL account was getting popped up, and go to the details. Go to the account assignment. Now let us understand how this GL account is getting automatically called up. Okay. Now you guys tell me, for material, if I do a normal material procurement, what was the different ways the GL account was getting called up? What was the first checkpoint? If you remember from
Material type.
determination class. No, material type will come when we actually do the GL determination.
Valuation
Before GL
class.
determination.
Movement type, no.
Yeah, movement type, correct.
First
So what is
GL
the
account,
movement type?
movement type 101 for goods receiving.
What it was doing, if anyone can tell, what was the function of movement type, what it was identifying?
Double some
Count key.
transaction key is going to
Transaction
Exactly,
key.
right? So our first aim in our accounting determination is to identify the transaction keys. Once we identify the transaction keys, then we go to the actual GL account. Now here, similar case, the movement type, whichever has been performed under materials management 101, that has identified the transaction keys. And for the transaction keys, fine, now we have to identify the GL account. Now, if anyone remembers from the indirect procurement session which we had, what was the transaction and like what we have discussed from accounting determination point of view during indirect procurement? From PO perspective, we have discussed, right? Like we will be having account assignment K, we will be assigning the cost center, and there also it was identifying the GL account automatically. How it was identifying, what was the transaction?
Material group.
No, so once we
There is
identify
sub-range.
the transaction key, then we
VBX.
will, sorry,
Sub-range like that, sub VBX or
you were right,
VBR.
BSX and WRX. So that was the case, right? So BSX and WRX, what was it? So it was inventory account posting BSX and WRX was GRIR. Correct? It was appearing for what? For direct procurement whenever we were doing the storage of the materials without any account assignments. Everyone agree? Or still anyone don't remember? I'm just recalling the things. It's fine if you don't remember at all. I'm just trying to recall so that you will have a touch about the accounting auto account determination also. So at least everyone agree, if or still anyone doubt that BSX and WRX was appearing for normal P2P cycle where we are doing the stock procurement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, right. It was BSX and WRX. Now, when we did the indirect procurement, BSX will not come into the picture. Reason, BSX belongs to inventory account, right? It is an inventory account. So BSX will not come into the picture. What was the thing that was doing the role of BSX in the indirect procurement? Let me open the OBIC. I'm just scrolling down. You guys tell me. See, this is the BSX which we saw, right? Inventory posting.
GBB, I
This was,
guess.
sorry,
Was it GBB?
right. Sorry. Okay. So if I scroll down. So if you remember, we discussed that time as well. So BSX will be called up for all the inventory postings whenever you are storing the material in your storage location. If you are procuring anything and you are not storing in your storage location, then BSX get replaced with GBB. Okay. Even the name suggests offsetting entry for inventory posting. So you are procuring something, but you are not keeping that as an inventory. So all those offsetting entries are grouped for GBB. So this is the one which will be calling the GL account in our scenario as well. Everyone agree that our scenario is also offsetting entry? No one has any doubt on this one, right?
Yeah, because there's no
Yeah.
stock of it.
Yeah. So I'm going to the GBB. It belongs to ICOA chart of accounts. Okay. Now tell me how the GL account was getting picked up based on these columns.
Valuation class. And then
Yeah. Yeah,
General
anyone?
modifier is considered for indirect, I believe.
Okay. Let me up so that you can read it clearly. Yeah.
No,
So
valuation
let's
class,
go one by one.
general modifier.
Sorry.
With general modifier and valuation class, we can get the GL account number here.
With only two combinations.
Because we don't not given any valuation modifier. We are given in only this two data. General modification, we got it from GBB there. And valuation class, you are given.
Okay, so cross question to everyone. What is valuation modifier? What we have learned? What is the linkage of valuation modifier with the purchase order fields? From where it belongs? Like for example, valuation class, everyone is aware. I no need to repeat. Valuation class, how it is coming from the material. In case of material procurement, in material, we assign the valuation class that plays the role to identify the GL account. In service procurement, we have assigned the valuation class in our service master record in activity number. So that's how it is playing the role of GL identification. In our case, I think we have assigned 3200. We will check that. So that is the one coming from valuation class. Explain in similar language what is the valuation modifier, how it is coming, or valuation grouping code.
That is the valuation area and we are grouping.
Yeah, what is valuation area?
Plan.
Plant, we are grouping.
Yeah,
Plant.
correct, right? So as we learned, like if you remember that Pune, Mumbai example we learned, like we want to group certain plants so that for this, even though all the plants belonging to same company code, for certain plants we wanted to have different GL, and for remaining plants we wanted to have different GL. How we were achieving it? We were grouping those plants under different valuation modifiers or valuation grouping codes. So valuation modifier is coming from, it is coming from which field of purchase order?
Plant.
Right? Now next remaining is general modifier or account modification. Where it is coming from?
It's from transaction key. From Migo transaction you are getting here.
No.
Account assignment category.
Exactly, right? If you remember account assignment category, in that case also during indirect procurement, we had K, we used K, cost center. We went to the configuration level of that account assignment category and we identified what is the standard general modifier or account modifier which is being assigned to the cost center. In this case, it was VBR. So let us go 0001 VBR. Right, so 0001 VBR. So for VBR, we have multiple based on valuation classes. I think 3200, but let me just confirm whether it is 3200. Yeah, 3200. So for valuation class 3200. So with this combination, now whatever the GL account which we have assigned, we shall get automatically populated when we create the purchase order. And the same one is being popped up. Correct? Everyone clear with the account assignment?
Yeah. But I think this field was editable field, no? And we could change it.
Yeah, you could change it when you create the purchase order.
But ideally, when you do it through a material master, you're not allowed to change it, isn't it?
During even material master, we were allowed. You could change it.
Or
Yeah.
maybe that is best. Sorry. In what business scenarios would it be, applicable that, I mean, whatever GL code is popping up, we don't want that and we want a different one.
It depends. As a standard practice, SAP has provided that control to the user level. But I have seen this sometimes companies control it through field level restrictions that user should not be allowed to change it. But sometimes user change it based on the requirement, like a certain PO is going to certain vendor. Though based on the account assignment, it shall be going to the particular GL account, but this is an offset entry or some, let's say, due to some business requirement, instead of going to that vendor, that GL account, they have created some dummy one, or due to some, let's say, this limit, budget limit or something, they are not able to assign it to that GL account. So that's how they have to modify the GL account and do the allocation to the different GL account. So in these different scenarios, they can change it to the preferable GL account which they think of while creating the PO.
So here I have a question like BSX and GBB, like this, any other type of skill there? Like for BSX, you are stock, and if it is non-stock, then GBB. And except all these two, is there any other are there like transaction?
For your material or service procurement, like whatever it may be, whatever entity you are procuring, if you are storing it, it is BSX. If you are not storing it, if you are consuming it, if you are consuming the value, then it is GBB. Only two.
But here there is no GBB. Here it is came VBR.
No.
VBR is a general modifier. GBB is a transaction event key. Under GBB transaction event key, general modifier is playing a role to identify the GL account. Even if I go to the material document, now this is interesting. This we have discussed. Now, if I go to the accounting document, here it says KBS. We have discussed this. What do you think? Why it is saying KBS? This WRX is clear to everyone. There is no doubt in this. GRI clearing, it is always WRX. And from WRX, whatever the GL's account have been maintained, that's why it is, this one is coming up. But why it is saying KBS? Why it is not saying GBB? This has happened in our indirect procurement as well.
Yeah, so I saw that is the vendor account, something like that. If I am not wrong.
Observation is correct. Whenever, even if you go to the invoicing, the vendor account will get populated against the transaction KBS.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Why it is coming up KBS? We have discussed this. Even with this two option, yeah.
Because it is service and the vendor is doing the service, so we are paying that for that. Or how?
Not exactly. So even with these two options which we have in front of us, for services, purchase services, it is getting KBS. Even if you do any indirect procurement for that material, it goes with the KBS. And for vendor also, it goes with the KBS. Let me go to the OBYC screen. I think that will strike something for you guys. So this is the KBS. What do you think? Why KBS is appearing?
Account assignment purchase order.
Maybe we are receiving against this account assignment and that cost center, all these things. So it is going to the KBS, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So when we do a normal procurement without any account assignment, can I see the GL accounts on the purchase orders? I won't be able to see to which GL account the cost is going to be debited. I won't be able to see that. The
Yeah.
determination of that GL account happens when you post the FI document itself. When the FI document is getting posted, that time itself the determination is happening. That's why it picks from the BSX only. Now here GBB plays the role to identify the GL account when you are creating the purchase order itself. When you are creating the purchase order, FI transaction is nowhere in the picture, right? Even though FI transaction is not coming into the picture, still the GL account identification is happening prior to it. So GBB is just playing the role to identify that GL account. Now, once you save the purchase order, now purchase order is itself telling you what shall be the GL account. And purchase order is not asking you to go to the OBYC, go to the determination and identify on your own. It is telling you this is the GL account, and against this GL account, please do all the debit entries, whatever you want to do. So in this case, when the FI entry is getting populated, that time FI document knows the GL account, and it is being provided by the prior document itself. Some prior entry was being done, and that prior entry is giving you the GL account. Under all those circumstances, system picks the transaction KBS. That's why even if you see under account determination, it is not checked. There is no account determination for KBS. because the determination has already happened in the prior entry for that FI document. Now for indirect procurement, service procurement, it is understandable that the GL account is already maintained on the purchase order. That's why KBS is coming up. What do you think? Why for vendor account it is coming KBS when you do the invoice verification? You can apply the similar logic which we discussed just now. What we discussed for KBS, what I said.
We are giving the account assignment cost center and directly it is going to the GL account when we are.
So what we said for KB for this one service procurement, before FI transaction, before FI document posting itself, I have provided the GL account in the prior entries. Against what GL account that entry shall be happening, I have provided that. That's why KBS is coming. Can you apply similar logic for invoice verification and tell me why KBS is coming for vendor entry, vendor debit entries? Sorry, credit entries. How vendor GL determination happens?
Here it is not happening. This account determination like valuation class and all these things. Directly we are putting this GL account. That is happening here. So for that
From
one,
where it is coming?
we are giving
Answer
this.
is correct, but from where it is coming in case of vendor? Where do we maintain the vendor GL account?
The reconciliation account we are maintaining the vendor master.
Exactly. So in vendor case also, if you see, we have maintained the GL account already in the master data itself of the BP. That whenever anything you want to credit or debit for this vendor, if any transaction is happening, please do it on this GL account, right? So in that case also, the GL account identification has been done prior to the FI document posting. We already know which account will get posted. So that's why here also account determination is not happening automatically. So that's why for vendor also KBS gets populated under invoice verification. Okay, clear everyone? Account determination. Is it? Are there still doubts? You can tell the doubts if you have. Okay, are there any doubts on the service procurement?
Here it is
So-
like simply we are just doing some service and paying something like that. There is no like complication like account determination. You have to go this valuation class areas and all these things. I think so. We can simplify like that.
No, accounting determination also plays a vital role in service procurement. So we will get the data, right? When we do the accounting determination, that time itself, there would be some Excel template, whatever it may be, however the communication happening, it depends on the communication between you and the business. In that itself, they will provide on their own, or if they haven't, then if the service procurement is the part of implementation, then you have to ask them what will be the GL accounts which you want to like based on what type of procurements you are doing. Based on that, you will be creating the valuation classes different, so that for different procurements you will be assigning the different GL accounts. So all those things needs to be discussed as part of service procurement. Okay. So apart from service procurement, is there any other doubt? So topic is done for the today.
Sir,
So
here,
I have three things. Yeah.
Here, while unplanned activity, if you are going to add in service entry, so after releasing the A1, A2 approvals, so automatic PO is going to generate, or we need to amendment the PO there? What is the business scenario there?
Which one release? You're saying entry sheet release? I could not understand. Could you repeat?
Yes, sir. Service entry sheet release.
Okay, service entry sheet. If I release, then
No, sir. We have done a PO for 2 items.
okay.
You said that unplanned item, third item is entered in service
Service entry
entry.
sheet. Okay. Let's say
So,
lathe was not a planned one in per PO, but he did repair for one lathe machine also. So I did, let's say, for lathe repair, one PC. Okay.
so how the vendor, how the PO is going to generate after releasing? We need to amend the same PO, or we need to create a fresh
No,
PO
no.
there?
So don't get confused with the material procurement and service procurement. In material procurement, we need to have this checks, right? So whatever you are receiving in MIGO needs to be there in your purchase order. If it is not there, you cannot procure it. Even if it is a free good, you need to add that as a free item in your purchase order, right? That is not the case with service procurement. In service procurement, you can always procure the unplanned services. Those will only get recorded in your service entry sheets. Okay.
Yes, sir. Again, there is no requirement of PR then here.
PIR, info record.
No, PR, purchase requisition, like as a.
No. No. We can do anything unplanned.
So directly from unplanned item, we can raise a PO here. Directly from the service number.
No need to raise again PO. You can just mention that unplanned activity here, save it, and then accept it. Once you accept it, then the payment will happen accordingly. Because the FI transactions which are being referred to now will be referred against your service PO. Sorry, service entry sheets, not purchase order. Remember the difference. When the normal material document is appearing, see, we are doing everything for our FI transactions, right? Whatever we are doing, because we want to consolidate our FI transactions, do it perfectly. Now, when we do the material procurement, the FI transactions will refer to your material document as well as your PO to identify the GL accounts and to identify the prices and to identify the what all type of procurements you are being done. In case of refer to your service entry sheet to identify how much this one values are being consumed. Okay, it will not refer to the PO for the value one. So that's why anything unplanned will get only recorded in your service entry sheet. No need to create another PO for that unplanned activity.
So is this option available for material-based purchase order also? I mean, when I say this, I mean MIGO. Yeah, I'm saying if we do a MIGO, then also can we do some unplanned additions of line item?
You're saying about lean procurement, right? Where we create the material master as a service.
No, I'm saying that even if it's a if it's a normal purchase order, it's not a item readily based service order. Even then, in MIGO, can we add line items directly? Is it allowed?
That's what I said. Right? In materials, in normal material procurement, there is this three-way checks. All those things are appearing. So you cannot add any material which is not mentioned under your purchase order in a normal procurement. But in service, there is a facility you can add if it is not planned. Clear? Okay. Any other doubt, anyone on service procurement or any other things? I think I had these 3 doubts from last week. I need to discuss that one.
Sir, one more doubt here.
Yeah.
While going to once open the PO page of service entry.
Okay. Yeah.
Here limits are there. What's the limit?
Yeah, so limit I'm not taking because this system is not supporting. If I change any limit, it is going into dump. I have asked for a mapper to check it, but I'm not getting support. But here limit in the sense, this is the thing, like let's say, since I'm adding any unplanned activities, and if you want to control the values of that at the PO level, like let's say you will create for CNC, VMC repair, and you are considering that, okay, even if this is the requirement, there could be unplanned services which might be required when we go ahead with the service entry sheets. But it should not be the case that right now the PO is of $66, and when service entry sheets actually gets recorded, it goes to some $2,000 or $3,000, like 1,000% change. Such things shall not happen. If that is the scenario, they can limit it with the values. Either they can keep it no limit. If it is no limit, then obviously system will not check for any limit, and you can add any number of services. If you put some limits, then if you add some unplanned services, then you can add those unplanned services until the limit which you have mentioned here. Beyond that limit, you won't be allowed to add. Okay.
Sir, one more thing.
Yeah.
Without any activity number, also you can create PO here. No? Generally, we
Yes, you
general
can,
scenario.
even without activity number. If you don't know at all the service, if these are the first time services being performed, you don't have service master record, you can create service PO without any activities. And you can just mention those activities when you do the service procurement.
So at
Sorry,
that time,
service entry sheet.
at that time, how that GL account going to fetch here, sir?
That time the determination will happen at the service entry sheet level. There you have to maintain it. In service entry sheet, right now it is being copied because I have maintained all those things under purchase order.
In the limits tab, the limit has to be set for this particular line item, or is this the limit of the complete purchase order?
You can put the limits at item level here, or you can put the overall limit here.
No, but the overall limit will be for item number 10 of the purchase order, or will it be for the complete purchase order?
So if you put limit here, that limit will apply to the item 10. If you put limit here item wise, then that item will be based on this line items.
Okay, but is there no provision that I can put a limit that this purchase order cannot be graded for more than $10,000? Do we have that provision?
No, see, the purchase order, it is possible that this line item is service procurement, and from same vendor you are procuring some material also. So in the second item, you are doing a normal procurement without any item category, without any account assignment.
No, if such in case, you know, in a case that I have there's a rule in the company that okay, no purchase order value can be more than $10,000. So is there a way I can put a validation, or that is it has to be a customized, or do we have a standard?
No, it needs to enhanced. That is the scenario.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Okay, so I'm not sure who asked that release strategy question. I think was it you, Venkat?
Yes, myself, Venkat.
Yeah. So I did that. I checked it. It was a silly mistake from our end. Even I didn't realize when we were doing that one. So I created my release strategy and it was working fine. So I just extended all my details of materials and everything to your release strategy, and still it was not working. So I checked and then realized here in total value, we added that time less than $1. So that's why it was not working. It should be greater than $1. If it is less than $1, then PR
Okay.
price also should be less than $1. We were adding it some $100 or something. So that's why it was not working. Now it is working. Now you can check just
Okay, sir.
same V S1 release strategy.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then about this one. I think Nishant, right? Nishant, you asked for Fury app. Hello, Nishant. Uh, Nishant, are you there? Hello. Okay, he's not responding. Okay, still I'll just explain so that then he can refer to the recording. So the question he was having is he wants to have a need to know the Fury app to identify the list of purchase orders. The input filter should be created by a particular user during a particular period. So with the manage purchase order app itself, we can do it, but we just need to add that extra filter.
Hello?
I'm just going to, hello.
Hello, sir. I'm sorry, I was.
No, not an issue. So
I was not. Yeah.
it is allowed with the manage purchase order itself. I'm going to it. Let me know if this is the requirement which you had, or was there something else? Okay, till now, I think there was one more question, right? Till now it is loading. What was it? Just a minute.
Sir, I try to use manage purchase orders, and like we also have this ME2N, sorry, ME2L and ME2M function where I can also see by whom it was created when I, double click the order twice. But my main, but my main question was basically that when you actually extract the list from, ME2L or, ME2M, when you get this list, you use this A and B grid control, right? And in that grid control, you can see all the details if the GR has been processed or not, or the invoice has been processed or not, and how much of the product has been delivered, and everything is quite is there on the. But there is no certain a column stating that okay, this was created by this person or something.
Okay. So as far as I understand, you wanted to have two filters when you identify the list. One is created by and created on.
Yes, sir.
So both of them are available. You can click on adapt filters. Both are available.
Okay.
Let me just put now in my case, my ID TRNR07. Go to the created on date. There are multiple options. Go
Okay,
from from to, which is your requirement. Let's say I'm doing it from 1st of June to today. Apply. Click on go. It will show the complete list. Here also there are all the columns are not appearing. For that, what you can do, click on the settings and again select that created by and created on. Those two things will also appear, and then you can extract. Okay.
Okay. But I cannot see the person, right, sir? Can you open? Oh, can you open the purchase order?
I just need to move it up. Then you will be able to see. Just move it like this will sort the columns the way they will be appearing on the screen.
Okay,
I just moved them on the top side. They are not opening. Just a minute. Skip purchase order. Okay. It's not refreshing.
Sir, if you can actually go to ME2M.
Okay, let us go there. ME2M.
Yeah.
Inventory.
And yeah, just when you go to the scope of list, can you put ALV?
Okay.
And the selection parameters are WE101. Yeah, it is open code receipt.
Okay.
And the delivery date of, I guess, probably today, sir. Today, no, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and just execute it, sir. And also I forgot, put the plan, sir. Forgot. Yeah.
Stream one, let us keep same one.
Okay. So you can see here, sir, if you slide to the right, you can see all the relevant data which has to be displayed. Okay, it is being displayed here. But you can't see it. You can't see who is, who created it here in this.
Let us see if we can add that. Change layout.
That was my question.
So your created by and created on is not coming.
Because this is quite helpful for reporting, sir. Because
yeah,
like whenever my manager asks me to like extract this information, and I'm always stuck in this one place. So last month also it was really difficult for me to find out, but I had to basically extract the data, and then I have to create another column, and then I had to
VLOOKUP
look at each and
is,
every
yeah.
purchase order, and then I had to write like, okay, this is the guy who has created it and everything. So that is kind of a huge hassle. It takes hours of time.
Yeah. So basically, if the column is not available, you want to add, you need to enhance the ME2M transaction with the help of your technical consultant. You need to add those columns here.
Okay.
They will do it for you. They will enhance the T code if the columns which you expect are not available.
Okay, sir.
Because
Is that possible? Is that possible, sir?
Yeah. Column and generally it happens for the custom fields which are
Okay.
added. But even if for standard, if you feel that is, if the standard one is there and is not available, you can add them, asking your technical consultant.
Okay.
Because
So
it's
it
surprising
is
for me also, because at least created by should be there, but I don't know why it is not.
I searched like all the filters. I literally spent like 1 to 2 hours on this, sir. So that is when I actually thought, okay, this is really strange that how come we don't have this function on this.
No.
Yeah.
It is not available as a standard field. You need to add it.
Okay.
Generally, if I go to delivery schedule level wise, just a minute, if I can change the scope. Let's say keep it all as.
I only tried with ALV grid control, sir. So probably Could be that I might have not found it, but with other filters, I probably think you might.
No. Complete.
I tried it with ME2N also with the purchase order number. It was not available with that as well, sir. So
ALV type, if you are going to do, maybe.
Yeah, we did ALV itself when we did the first time. For ALV itself, so it is not appearing.
But normally we use ALV, sir, because this is really useful for
Yeah.
The Excel document as an Excel document.
Then better option, if it is not available, you can create the scope list itself, asking your technical consultant, like let's say ZALV, create that one, inform him what are all columns you want to have, provide the technical names and get it created, the new scope of list itself.
I mean, could you come again, sir?
You can create the custom scope of list for you with the columns which you expect. Let's say, for example, ZALV.
Okay.
Like that, instead of extending the standard scope of list.
Okay. So probably that can be done.
Yeah.
By consulting the ABAP guy.
Yes.
Okay. And one more small question, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, when you create a purchase order, if you want your company name to be in the output management document, how is that possible, sir? How can you actually put the company's name onto the document?
On that printout you are saying on that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
When you want to give that invoice to other company.
Yeah, you need to modify the forms, which we saw during the configuration. There are forms, routines, and all those things, right? Those form you need to modify. So you need to discuss with your business like how that output should appear. You need to create the Word file for that and share that Word file with the ABAP. ABAP needs to code that form based on the Word file which you have shared.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yeah, understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Someone also asked about this one, right? I don't know who asked how to bring the custom condition type for RFQ when we maintain the RFQ.
Yeah, myself.
Yeah, Rakesh. So for that, I checked it. Can do it this way. Let's say if I'm going to maintain the RFQ. Okay. So this is the period. Okay. So here I need to okay. Actually, I maintained already for this one. I'll just explain how I maintained it. So here I need to, let's say for this example, washing charges, you need to mention while you do the maintenance of the RFQ itself. And since this is created newly, it won't be available in your standard pricing procedure. So what you can do, I went to condition type PB00 gross price, right? This is the condition type I need to maintain. Now for this condition type, there would be a default pricing procedure. We need to identify what is the default pricing procedure for this PB00 first. And in that pricing procedure, we need to add our condition type ZWAS. How we can do it? So I'll go to the configuration. Same path, conditions. Define price determination process and go to the condition type. So in the condition type itself, this default pricing procedure would be maintained, PB00. Go to the details. So here it would be mentioned, like for this one, it belongs to which pricing procedure. In other words, if this is the condition type which is being mentioned, then what all other conditions shall be accompanied with this. So to identify that, we assign some default pricing procedure for our condition type. So here we have assigned, let's say this one ZRM00 in our case. So once I have identified that, I need to go to calculation schema configuration. Move to that default one. So this is the one which is being assigned. Click on it, go to the control data and add your condition type here. So in this case, if you see, I have added that under 19th step, washing charges, add it, save it, then go to the quotation and you will be able to add that condition type. Okay. Yeah. So anyone else, any other doubt apart from this one? Any doubts in the assignments or anything? No doubts. How are the assignments going? I think like at least you guys are practicing the things which we are discussing, or you're not getting the time.
I will complete
Of
mine, sir.
silence. Yeah.
I will
Okay.
complete mine.
Okay.
I was a bit occupied with work.
I also have few scenarios to run. I'll be practicing.
Yes, sir.
Try to complete that. If you get doubts, let me know.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure, sir.
Anyone have like who looking for a job, or have you guys started with the CV preparation, that module of interview preparation? Any
I
doubts in that?
currently found work, sir, because of Shastra Geek.
Okay, congratulations.
And thank you, sir. So, and I also spoke with Parminder, sir, about this. So the classes have helped me a lot. So I would especially thank you and Parminder, sir, for providing such good information.
Yeah, sure.
So thank you very much.
So you got a consultant job, right? Consultant.
Yes, sir. I work as a junior consultant for a company here in Finland for a pharmaceutical client.
Okay.
And the name of our company is called N4.
Okay.
And they are quite like Capgemini in India, and they're like the Capgemini of Finland.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
have quite a large client base. So it's nice. Have good colleagues, and the work is also pretty good. So I get to learn
the
more.
happiest country on the earth.
Yes, sir.
Users are very good from the Finland. I had my first project from the Finland itself.
Okay.
I really miss those users. Very friendly, very chatty.
Yeah, they don't talk much, and they're pretty much always in their own bubble. And the working life is also, like, I guess, far better from my previous company. So it's nice. It's nice. And I do have a lot of doubts and stuff. They also help me out with it. But there are, I guess, all the knowledge that they have, I don't think they have like enough knowledge like how you and Parminder sir have. So that is the reason I keep coming back. I just go, keep revising my videos again and again to be more to gain some more knowledge. And I also explain it to my colleagues that okay, this is how it is done, so and so. So I feel good about it. I actually do that. So that is the reason I'm thanking you again.
That's fine.
So, yeah. Yes, sir. Yep. to all of the others, I guess, best of luck in your job search or whatever you have to.
So any doubts on any other topics or anything? No, then I think we can close the session. Okay, then I think we can close the session. So the topics are all covered from my end. I think there are only one or two things pending from Parminder sir. So once that is completed, I think this batch will be over. And then I think they'll start with the excellence batch. Okay.
Sir, Parminder sir said that there is no classes from his side, only pending with your end. What he said. His classes has completed.
This was the
Parminder sir.
last. Then this was the last topic from my end, which was pending. Could you repeat? I could not hear you. Someone was saying something, right? Hello? Am I audible?
Sir. Parminder sir said that his classes has completed.
Okay, then I was not aware about that. Then from my end also it is complete. This was the last topic which was there from my side to complete. Service procurement.
Then Kunal, how we clear our doubts actually?
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Which doubts? You have still doubts on the assignments, right?
Suppose we are practicing and some doubts are coming, then we can send it the Telegram.
Yeah, you can send it to the Telegram, or you can join on the next batch also. Use is the 1 year still over for you or still pending?
1 year is there.
Yeah, then you can still join the next batches and like tell your doubts. We will be clearing it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
The next batch will start. It takes some more time, and excellence batch which also starts from maybe in the month of.
Yeah, the exact dates, I think I'm not sure. You need to ask Aman or Parminder.
Sir, Aman said that it will take month of August, last week of August.
Okay, last week of August. Okay. I'm not sure on that. But no worries, you can just let me know on the Telegram group. I'll try to resolve there. Or if there are new batches, even the mastery batch, they might start after some time. Those also you can join. On Saturdays, I will try to resolve your doubts.
So what master batch means? What's it?
The same mastery batch, they could repeat
Okay,
after
okay.
some time. Yeah. Okay. Okay then. Thank you guys. Happy weekend.
Thank you, Kunal.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, sir.
So, one more thing, sir, vendor evaluation is the topic is there now. Where are we going to cover that vendor evaluation?
Vendor evaluation, I think already done, right?
No.
That would be covered by Parminder.
LSMW is also there, no? One course is there, one topic is there.
That is different module itself for
Okay.
LSMW.
So is it
But
taken by Parminder
or? Just a minute. I think vendor acknowledgement and confirmation is done, right?
Yeah. Vendor
And
Confirmation is done.
evaluation is part of, I believe, let me check. Evaluation is, I think, part of the next class. Because vendor related everything is generally handled by Parminder sir. Not sure whether, let me just cross check once if it is part of excellence. Okay, anything else remaining? If you know.